The story begins with a man named Tao who had come on a hunt with the people of his tribe. After a brief inspection, he ordered all his companions to get ready for the hunt. This time, their target was a herd of wild buffaloes that were just a short distance away. Tao slowly began moving toward them, and all the men attacked the buffaloes together. But the buffaloes were not going to give up easily. They started charging at the men to defend themselves. At that moment, all the men threw their spears at once, which scared the buffaloes, causing them to run in the opposite direction, where a deep ravine lay. One by one, all the buffaloes began jumping into the ravine, just as Tao had planned. However, one wild buffalo, instead of jumping, ran toward a boy named Keta. This was Keta's first hunt, and due to lack of experience, he got scared and started running away. The buffalo hit him from behind, knocking him to the ground. But the buffalo wasn't done. It turned around and charged at Keta again, this time picking him up and running toward the ravine. Tao attacked the buffalo from behind, stabbing it in the stomach. But even with a spear in its belly, the buffalo jumped into the ravine with Keta. Tao and his companions rushed to the ravine to save Keta and saw that he was hanging onto a rock, but he couldn't hold on for long, and eventually he lost his grip and fell. Luckily, he didn't fall all the way to the bottom, but landed unconscious on a large rock. Keta was actually Tao's son, and Tao desperately wanted to go down and save him, but his companion stopped him. Soon it was nightfall, but Tao still had hope that his son might survive, so he stayed there, calling out to Keta.
As the chief of the tribe, Tao couldn't stay there for long because they had to return to the village with food before the snow began. So the next morning, with a heavy heart, he performed a final ritual for Keta and left. Meanwhile, Keta was still unconscious. Soon a vulture spotted him and, seeing easy prey, approached. As the bird came close to eat him, Keta suddenly woke up and swatted it away. Seeing himself stranded on a rock, Keta panicked and began shouting for Tao, but soon realized no one was coming to help. Determined not to die so easily, Keta decided to climb down. During his attempt, he slipped but managed to grab onto the rock again. He had no support from below and couldn't hang on much longer with just his arms, so he held on tightly with all his strength. A little later, heavy rain began, and the water below formed a river. Keta realized this might be his last chance to survive, so without thinking further, he jumped into the river. The next morning, Keta woke up in a deserted place. He noticed he couldn't move his leg. When he removed his shoe, he saw his foot was severely swollen due to a dislocated bone. Using 2 stones, he set the bone back in place and used wood and his shoe to support his leg. Keta wanted to return to his tribe, so he decided to climb a hilltop. There, he saw the same ritual stones Tao had placed, which broke his heart. Suddenly, he heard some noises and saw a pack of wolves. Keta started running as fast as he could, but he wasn't faster than the wolves. They soon caught up, and to save himself, he climbed a dry tree. One wolf grabbed his leg, but Keta quickly pulled out his knife and killed it. The other wolves remained below, so Keta stayed in the tree all night. The next morning, the wolves had left their injured companion and gone. Keta tied his knife to a stick to make a weapon and approached the wounded wolf to kill it. But seeing its pitiful state, he felt compassion and spared its life. For safety, he tied the wolf's mouth shut with a rope and carried it on his shoulders to a cave where they spent the night.
Soon they saw a snowstorm approaching and a pack of hunting dogs following them. Using his wits, Keda ran toward a cave with Alfa. Despite the storm and the dogs, they reached the cave in time. Inside, they waited for the dogs, but they never came, likely trapped by the storm. Keda felt the danger had passed, but Alfa stood facing the wall, ready to attack. Suddenly, a black panther appeared and attacked Keda. Alfa jumped in to defend him, and a fierce battle began. Keda, though afraid, knew Alfa wouldn't survive unless he helped. He gathered all his courage and shot an arrow at the panther, killing it. Keda called out to Alfa, who lay beside the panther. After several attempts, Alfa got up but collapsed due to her injuries. Keda knew Alfa had saved his life many times and was determined to take him home. The next morning, they began walking again. After a few hours, they saw a rock with the symbol of Keda's village. They were close now. Alfa's strength began to fail, and she soon collapsed. Keda saw the pain on her face and realized she couldn't walk anymore. But he didn't give up. He carried her in his arms. They walked through the night and crossed several mountains. Finally, Keda saw his village and collapsed near it, holding Alfa in his arms. Tao was shocked to see his son alive and immediately embraced him. Keda's mother arrived too, overwhelmed to see her son again. Keda was overjoyed to see his parents and asked his father to save Alfa at any cost before passing out. When he woke up, he learned that Alfa had given birth to several pups. She was actually a female wolf, pregnant during their entire journey. Despite that, she had stayed by Keda's side and protected him. Knowing this made Keda love Alfa even more.